He was about to turn away when there was a noise behind him. What kind of noise? He spun around to see Seven kneeling on the floor. What? Seven, what's wrong? His face was big and pale. No, Seven, why? What's going on? Droplets of sweat covered his forehead. Hey, what's going on? You okay, dude? Or man? He was concerned. He'd never seen Seven like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs. Yeah, I'm fine. Are you sure? Because I don't want anything bad happening to you. I just got a little dizzy, that's all. His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Now that I think about it, June also has like these weird random moments of, you know, having a high temperature, and Seven has these random moments of tripping. He had another one in the other playthrough, right? So, what's up with this? Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt. He was many things, but fine was not one of them. Are you sure? You don't look so good. Seven didn't answer. Half his face was twisted as if distorted by extreme pain. His eyes were glazed. Oh man, what's wrong? Finally he spoke. What am I doing here? What do you mean? Do you have more amnesia? Like, do you have some kind of problem where amnesia constantly happens to you? Or maybe you had a big injury? I don't know. His words made no sense. What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot. No, that's not what I mean. He shook his head several times as if trying to clear something from it. Are you maybe getting some memory back? Ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back. I think I've been here before. Were you in the previous game then? Oh man, so many people. Like, I've been noticing everyone's like at least involved in some way with the previous game. You know, because Ace was in charge of it. The ninth man, I think, was one of his co-workers. I think that's what happened. Like, they didn't make that completely clear, but I think that's what it was. I think he was one of the co-workers. Who else? Snake was in the previous game. Clover was in the previous game. It seemed like Santa's sister was in the previous game. Not sure what Lotus's connection is. It seems like, I guess, Seven might have been in the previous game. Yeah, so that's a lot of us. Who does that leave? Well, that leaves Lotus. Yeah, Lotus, so I don't know the connection. I don't know June's connection, and I don't know my connection. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to have some kind of connection with the previous game. Huh? I said I've been in this room before. You were here? When? Why? Owie, Light, Nona? Wait, what? What is that? Some kind of code, or? Suddenly Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words Junpei didn't understand. Well, I understood the light part. Not quite sure what you mean by it. You said Nona, though. Is that like Nonary game? Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he said. The hell was that? Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth. It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't. Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. Then suddenly he looked up, his eyes wide. Do you remember something? That's right! An experiment! There was some kind of experiment going on the ship. Yeah, I already know about it, but maybe not. I don't in this playthrough, but I already know about it. An experiment? What sort of experiment? Sometimes it's actually kind of hard for me to remember what I actually know in this playthrough. I think this is the first time I'm learning about this, actually. They were trying to control people. Or something like that. Jim didn't know what to make of Seven's story. He simply stared at us and continued. Owie, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. Wait, the names of the other people here? The kids that were there. In the experiment, I mean. Owie, Light, and Nona? Were any of them people we already know about? Wait, Nona was actually someone's name? That's interesting. And Light is also someone's name? That's also very interesting. What a weird name. Light Yagami, of course! Kira's the one that's responsible for everything! I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. Well, let's see. If there's 3 of those kids, plus you is 4, it'd be 5 more to make 9. Do you remember their faces? Like, I don't know. I know Clover said something about not because of something. I don't remember what it was. There's some reason that they couldn't remember the faces. Not sure what that was, but I think she was in Nirvana though, wasn't she? And isn't that like different from the ship? Unless I don't know. Maybe the ship also had people who couldn't see faces. I don't know. Don't know the whole spiel yet. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here. Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as nobody could tell, the man was simply rambling, and there were odd twitches to his movements. Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceutical. There's that again. Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case? Oh my god! Is this confirmation? I've been right all along? He's a cop? Is this it? Is this the big reveal? Oh my god, I've been saying this since the beginning. There's been a lot of hints, but there's never been anything outright saying it's fact. I think this is it. I think they're actually gonna say it. He's a cop, isn't he? Like, this is practical confirmation right here. Semi continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei. Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped. He crouched down and looked under the bed. So yeah, that's why he's here. He was concerned about the whole, that's what I thought in the beginning, right? I didn't understand the whole thing, but I thought maybe he infiltrated or something, and that's why he was here. He was trying to infiltrate, maybe he lost his memory in the process, maybe that's what happened, or, like he got knocked out, and then he was forced to be part of the game or something? I don't know. Something like that. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again. The hole's gone? Oh yeah, if he was part of the game before, and he was in this room before, then there's probably been changes to the different rooms and stuff. Obviously to make it a new game. Otherwise, someone like Ace would know everything about it. No, maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms in this boat that look just like this one. Junpei could contain himself no longer. Hey, what exactly do you remember? Well, maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on? Here? Seven stood up slowly. Well, it's not like I really remember everything. Only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense. I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then. I'll try and piece them together. Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important. Still so many secrets about this boat that I don't know. Maybe you'll help me give a clue as to who Zero is. Seven drew a large, muscular hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke. From what I can remember, I think I was a cop. Oh, yes! There it is! There it is! Who called it back in, like, part -2? I did. That was me. Right here. Professional ace detective attorney person. Oh, yeah. I'm the man. Anyways. A cop? Yeah. I was looking for the group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. Okay, alright, things are adding up now. And then you got involved as well? You remember that, right? It was all over the news. Yeah. I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it. I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why. Where have these 16 boys and girls disappeared to? 16 of them. Well, some of them were put on the ship and some of them were put in Nirvana, right? That's 8 and 8, though. So where's the 9th and 9th? I don't know. It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it? Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I guess I found something. there was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals that had something to do with those kids. After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. They told me a ship will be leaving that night with all the kids on it. They're going to be taken to some kind of big passenger ship somewhere out in the ocean. So was this person telling you this to try and, like, capture you, put you in an ambush, or were they just some kind of random informant? Oh hey, that's an interesting pick. And so, Seven had headed to the wharf. He kept to the shadows and before long found the suspicious ship he'd been looking for. There were a number of human shapes moving near the ship. Probably actually humans. They were men in black suits. Many of them were carrying large bags onto the ship. The bags, there was something about the way they moved as they were carried. There could be no mistake, there were human beings in those bags. He had moved before he even realized what was going on. Out of the shadows he came, his gun already in his hand. He heard the words, "Don't move," but they weren't his. He felt metal touch the back of his head. "Drop your gun," came the cold voice from behind him. Who's saying this? Oh my gosh, who is it? With the words, he felt the cold metal thing behind him press against his skull. That's definitely a gun sound. I know he's not going to die in a flashback, but I'm still very curious. Who's got him held up? Is it Ace? They might actually keep this ambiguous, because maybe it's supposed to be the big reveal in the other pathway, I don't know. Slowly, Seven crouched down and laid his gun on the ground. And suddenly, felt a sharp pain in his neck. A needle. Was it some sort of drug? Ooh, there's that drug again! I'm glad I didn't do this playthrough before the other one, because then otherwise I'd be all like, oh my gosh, it's definitely him, way before we actually found out. As he was thinking about that, Seven felt his face hit the cold concrete beneath him. He could feel the chill of it seeping into him. This makes me all the more confused about why Ace would tell Santa his company. Like, isn't that kind of incriminating? Maybe it's not, I don't know. Ugh, damn it! Shit, my head hurts. Seven woke to find himself lying on a hard floor. He twisted his neck to peer around the room. Where am I? There was a small, shabby bed and a dirty sink. So this is where you woke up. Interesting. A toilet with no stall or privacy of any sort. As a cop, it was a place Seven had seen all too often. I'm in a cell, huh? Opposite the toilet was a door set into the wall. Seven struggled to his feet and hobbled toward it. Gave the door a good shove, then another, then tried pulling it. It didn't open. Huh. Well, that was about what he'd expected. It wasn't likely that someone would put him in a cell only to leave it unlocked. He threw himself against the door a few times, but to no avail. I knew it! Seven grumbled to himself as he moved back toward the bed. He sat down. Is that it? He sat there for a very long time. Just how long, he wasn't sure. Okay. For bits and pieces, this is quite a bit. Last he began to nod off, and nearly fallen asleep when he was roused by a distant voice. There. Over. It's 9? The voice was far away, very far away. Seven couldn't understand what it was saying. Nonetheless, it was a voice, and a high one, most likely a child. Ooh, maybe it's Clover. I don't know. No, wait. He's in the boat, right? So I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Snake. His eyes shot open. Hurray-ing? Hurray-ing. The best speech. Hurry over here, and then I don't know this part. What's probably going on is they're in the middle of the nonary game, and he just happens to be there. Maybe. I don't know. As he listened, he could pick out several different distinct voices. There were at least 5 or 6, possibly more. Where were the voices coming from? He looked around the room frantically. Perhaps the door? No, that wasn't it. What go out? Was it coming from the left? Was it coming from under the bed? He grabbed the bed and flipped it up with ease. There it was. There was a hole! Nice! For ventilation in the wall with the bed gone. Oh, that's the hole he was talking about. Covered with a metal grate. Seven lay down on his stomach and peered through the grate. He couldn't see anything. It was too dark. Now that he'd found it, however, there could be no doubt this was the source of the voices. For a moment he was confused. Why were there children nearby? Then he remembered what the man from Cradle Pharmaceutical had told him. How a ship would take the kidnapped children from the wharf to a waiting passenger linear out in the ocean. Was 7 on the passenger linear? Now that I think about it, was Ace telling me a bunch of BS back in the first pathway? You know, when he talked about Alice possibly moving around? Then again, maybe not, because, I mean, who knows, with the mysteries behind Zero. But maybe so. Maybe he thought he was, but he wasn't. We'll see. It didn't matter. What mattered was that he find a way to the children. 7 looked at the metal grate. Could he fit through the hole? He stuck his fingers through the grate and grabbed hold of it. Hurray! Did it work? Pant, pant, pant. Hot pants. Yeah, how'd you like that, you son of a bitch? The dark square sat open before him. 7 wiped the sweat from his forehead and crawled inside. Is this all part of the game? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, is that it? Is this where the story ends? Junpei waited for 7 to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that 7 had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank. What happened after that? He waited long enough, but 7 shook his head. I don't remember what happens after that. Think I found some kind of door out of the duct. I think I found some kids too. Oh man, why can't I remember what happens next? Probably because at this point it'd be spoiling me. What happened to the kids, 7? Did you save them? I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I got this feeling. I think one of the kids died. That's, yeah, it's gotta be, the one, Clover was talking about, who is also most likely, I'm theorizing, Santa's sister. A girl, I think. Huh? Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. 7's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness, the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke. Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else. After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man. There was nothing more he could do. Instead, Junpei turned his mind to trying to make sense of what 7 had told him. The children who had been kidnapped 9 years ago. Apparently, a company called Cradle Pharmaceutical had been behind the kidnappings and had taken the children to the ship they were on now. They had been brought to the ship for an experiment. Something to do with controlling human beings, 7 had said. 16 children had been kidnapped for the subjects for the experiment. Okay, 7 had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. That was the new information. He'd also learned that 7 was, or had been, a police officer. Still, there was little he could do with this new information. He'd learned nothing about the nonary game or Zero. He had no idea why they had been brought to the ship that had been the site of those experiments 9 years before. Junpei couldn't forget what 7 had said. What 7 had said the purpose of the experiment had been to control human beings. Could such an absurd experiment really have been conducted? Well, it was, apparently. Before long, Junpei realized he had spent quite some time deep in thought. No time for that, he chided himself. He had work to do. Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind. Well, that's quite the info dump, but we knew a lot of that already. Yeah, the new parts are, again, 7's a cop, totally called it. There were 16 children kidnapped, not 18, like you'd think, with 2 nonary games. So, we have a bunch of things, and I've partially forgotten what we're doing, all things considered. We have this tile. What could this tile be used for? Let's, head back in here, I guess. Maybe we're supposed to use, maybe we're supposed to use this on, here, maybe? To try and fit it in, if it fits. Sounded like something falling. Aha, it worked! What was that? I heard it too. Let's open the drawer. Aha! Another tile! Whatever that's used for, I'm not sure, but I have it! Have you taken a close look at the tile, Junpei? I noticed that the 3 red lines here are actually on top of the other lines. Interesting. The red lines? Yes. For whatever that purpose is, whatever purpose that is, though, not sure. But I'm sure we'll find out eventually. I guess we're gonna try going back into the other room? Not quite sure what we can do there yet. I'm pretty sure we gotta get a light from somewhere. We can probably use this mirror to reflect the light. Now I just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. Maybe if I go somewhere it's a little easier to shine light on. Wait a second, what? Whoa, what happened here? Let me see if I understand what's going on. Wait a second, what? I'm trying to understand where we are. Because the toilet paper's over there. Which means... we've got the toilet paper now, right? Nothing special about this toilet paper. I don't really think I need to bother shining any light on it. Wait, okay, we can shine light on things? How do we do that? So if I shine this light on the mirror and back... oh! I'm shining it with the thingy thing! I didn't think I was even... okay, I didn't even think about that. Okay, I get it. Shine light on a mirror, a symbol appears. Left one has a sun, the right one's got a moon symbol. Gotta remember this. And then what about over here? When I shine light on the mirror in the back... is that a number? 4, 7? So 4 for sun, 7 for moon? So if I shine light on this mirror, then I get to see some numbers. I can see a 4 on the left and a 7 on the right. 4 and 7. I wonder what that means. Okay, it's nice to see the sink lit up, I guess, but all it shows me is the pipe. Alright, so is that... did I need to know that? Like 4 and 7 with the sun and moon? Well, I put here to reflect what's opposite from it. Intriguing. Okay, so that view was kind of weird and took me a bit to understand what was going on, but I think I get things now. But all I really learned from that was some numbers corresponding to some other things. So maybe I can do something with this now? Maybe I know the pattern thing? Huh. Apparently I don't know anything. Okay, I'm still apparently dumb. Let's see. we've got these tiles, we still got the towel, and we still have drawer without a handle. But let's try this again. It's just like the sun symbol we saw in the dark room. Yeah, that's right. There's some kind of number hit there too. Yes, there was. Not quite sure what to do with it though. You think maybe the number was how many times we take a piss? I love this. I love you. Oh my gosh, that's great. So it's gotta be how many times we flushed. Then maybe we flushed that many times? The only thing you manipulate in this room is a string. Chances are they made this puzzle so someone wouldn't trigger by accident. 4 times? I don't know. Just keep pulling on this thing then. Alright, here goes. Second pull. I think I just do it 4 times. Third pull. Did you just hear something? Alright, it is how many times we flushed. Nice. Did, but it doesn't look like anything's happened here. Wonder what that sound was. It's probably in the room with Lotus. Let's do it. And then 7 in the other room. Okay. 4 and 7. Gotcha. Things are making sense. They're looking up. Super. It's a very, very old toilet. Apparently Lotus refuses to touch it ever. Okay, so wait. Something happened, right? Well, where did it happen? Where'd the happening thing happen? Apparently something happened? What happened? In the sink? The symbol's telling us to make the water flow from the side. So what happened? Did I miss it? Apparently something happened, right? Maybe something didn't happen. I'm just gonna do the 7 things on the other one just to get it out of the way before I get all confused. This is what the moon symbol was pointing to, huh? They probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger by accident. If that's the case... 1. Second time. Third time. 4th time. 5th time. 6th time. I love how he points it out. 7th time. And there we go. That's it, right? There's that sound again. It happened whenever I pulled the string a couple of times. Junpei, did you hear something from the other room? The other room? You mean from the dark room? So did 2 things happen in the dark room now? Is that what that's all about? I don't know. Let's check. What do we got? Anything? Oh, maybe we have to shine the light again? Ray of light in the center of the room. We don't need to shine light on it anymore. Are you sure? Then what do we need to do? Apparently something happened in this room, right? Aha! Well, this door opens easy enough. Okay, there's a bunch of weird lines on this thing. I don't get this. I don't think I can figure this one out on my own. And I got another tile. There's a bunch of weird lines in this. I don't get this. Same thing. Really? Same spiel? Nothing new? Like, oh boy, another tile? So if I can't figure this out on my own, let's get someone's help. The tile with the 3rd colored lines on it, right? The 3rd color. Just the 3rd. Not the 1st or the 2nd. Junpei, did you notice this? The red lines. Don't they look like they form a 14? Oh, now I see it, now that you say that, yeah. 14, huh? Yeah, I guess it kind of does. Do they all form a 14? Yeah. Are they all the same? Is there no difference, really? Wow. So, what's the point of all these? Can I emerge now? Like, is that the joke? I can emerge now? Okay. Well, it looks like we've investigated all the rooms. The only mystery left is that door. Let's crack that mystery then. Got 4 tiles. And there are a bunch of tiles that are the same size up on the wall here. So if we replace 4 of the tiles in the wall, the ones we've got, that should open the door. Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, so we need to emerge somehow. And we have these 14s. So let's say that is what they represent. They represent 14. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Maybe we have to make a number 9? I don't know. Or maybe we have to make a number 2. So, E would be 5. M would be... math. 13? And then R would be... 19. G is like 7. So 13, 19, 7, 14, 3, I don't know. I'm not even sure really if that's what we have to do. Let's just try replacing tiles. What'd that do? Anything? Wait, maybe we just replace the 4 E's. Because E is equals like the number 5, right? And 14 root is like 5, so let's do that. Hey, did you just hear something unlock? Okay, so I did all that random number letter math for basically nothing. Is that when we got it right? And yes, looks like we did. The 14 hidden on the tile. If you convert that to hexadecimal, it's an E. Oh, that's totally what I was thinking about, and not that 1 plus 4 equals 5 and E translates to 5 in numbers. I think either way works, but okay. Basically, the E's in emergence are the 14s from the tiles. So if we replace it, that gives us the answer. Really care why it works? Let's just get out of here. Yeah, I agree. Who cares why it works? My method could make sense too. Yes! Let's go!